Hello, welcome again to our podcast. As ever, recently I've been joined by Todd, our CEO from North America. Welcome.
Thanks for having me again.
And today's topic, we're going to talk about how to align data platforms better with the business. And I think this is something a lot of organizations struggle with. If you're into data platforms, business intelligence, you need quite a lot of technical skills and knowledge to be able to produce something at the far end. But that technical knowledge doesn't translate well for your business users. A, they don't care much what's going on in the background, but B, a lot of it is just technical gobbledygook. And you might as well be using random words as far as they're concerned. So you need to find a way of talking business to your end users. And there's also another issue in that, a good data platform will support the whole business. Finance team, HR team, delivery teams, your customer service teams, everyone will be accessing that data. And so you need to find a way of organizing the system so that you can talk about value broadly across the whole company, and specifically in relation to each user community that's there. And so we've kind of experimented a bit with the way of doing this, and we've kind of come up with a concept we call business questions. I know it sounds a bit not that revolutionary, but we're kind of labeling this as such. So you think about it, what do you use a data platform for? And there are a number of things you can use it for, but it tends to break down into you're kind of feeding some process that wants to process your data for some reason. So you might be feeding an AI engine or a decision engine that's driving something else. So that's more of an automatic feed from the platform out. But if you look at people, if you're feeding people, a majority of the time they're looking at dashboards, data extracts, and some newer options that are out there now around AI, natural querying and stuff like that. And then you have to say, right, so you're a business user. What are you doing with the dashboard? And the answer comes back, well, I've got a theory, or I've got a question, or I'm monitoring something, and I want to keep an eye on this data to do something with it to help me deliver my day job. I want my day job delivered better. I want it delivered in a safer way. I want to seem on top of all this to my management team. So you can then boil that back to saying, okay, so the platform is an enabler for you. It doesn't drive you. It can, because it can drive a decision engine that sets work. But in general, most users will say, I want to use the data as an enabler for my day job. Right. And then it comes down to, well, what are we helping you with? Well, then you can actually phrase that in terms of, well, to do my day job, I want to answer this question. So to run my manufacturing plant better, I need to be able to compare different machines in the plant to see if there's too much variance in the performance of those machines. So are certain machines being underutilized, are others broken down more? And then my day job being getting in there and making sure on a sort of work level, fixing these things to keep those statistics running. So what you can then do is kind of break up the business into business units or capabilities, and within each capability there are sets of questions that managers in there need to answer, and that gives you a structure against which you can hang the data design to say, we're building this bit of the warehouse now, and it's going to support these sorts of questions. And if you can answer those questions, you can see a percentage improvement in the metrics that come out, which gives you an idea of the benefit that you're enabling in the business.
So there's a lot of value in working quickly and incrementally so that the business starts to realize value.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So rather than tackling broad questions, you're better off picking specific questions and getting those answered with a particular presentation. So quick, deliver quickly. And then while you're working on the next one, the one you've just delivered can still be used and business benefit comes out faster. It's a bit like, you've done the math at school on the calculation of compound interest rates.
Right.
Yeah. So if I have money in the bank and they just pay me interest at the end of every month, so every month I get an income.
Yeah.
If they paid me every week instead, a quarter of the month, the fact that you get in the first week payment, that goes into the second week as compound and the third week as compound.
Yeah.
So as the time period reduces, you get more and more benefit from the same delivery, the same interest. The same thing goes for projects. If I can deliver more faster, even though they're smaller, the actual compound effect of the benefits, can be as much as 2 times the original benefit if you only delivered a big project.
It's a good analogy, and I'd imagine it improves the relationship between business and IT if you're working that way.
The problem is if you deliver every year. I don't think anyone does this anymore, but if you delivered a big project every year, then people are going to, you say, I'm starting the year off now on the next project. Everyone's going to jump in and want stuff in that project. So the scope's going to balloon. And then as the year goes on, relevance shifts and changes as the business circumstances changes. So you're dropping things, adding things, inserting stuff, changing the meaning of stuff. And it's unrecognizable by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And by then everyone's bored. They found other ways around the problem.
Right.
So you're better off saying, well, I'd rather drop something small every month.
Yeah. You may have delivered less and what wasn't actually that important, right?
Oh, you often find that half the stuff you deliver at the end of the year, if it's a big drop, is no longer needed.
Right.
So you can find that out through the year, then it'd be good to drop it.
Yeah.
And you're not wasting time on overproducing.
Right.
So all those things are going on as well. So it's about so I think the business value is engaging on questions related to capabilities, and then talking with them about that question. How much benefit will that give you? Will it move an indicator 2%, 5% in terms of how the business KPIs run? And then from there, going back to look at the frequency of delivery.
Mm-hmm.
So stacking them up, showing the roadmap of questions we will address across the year. And then much less on, you'll have a dashboard.
Right.
Yeah. It's more on the line of you'll have some presentation that helps that question to be answered.
What's been your best practice over the years in terms of delivery or drops, or how often you want?
Well, data platforms are interesting. You can build them thin layer out. So the new modern techniques allow you to add a small micro increment at a time. But often those micro increments are not really valued by your end users because they work at the business question level. So if your issue is how efficient are my machines, and I say to you, well, the next release, I'll give you the list of the machines. And then the release after that, I'll give you an indication of when they were switched on or off. Yeah. And then the week after that, I'll do this and so on. Then, while you're following an agile approach and delivering something to production every week, the users asking questions are waiting for something more substantial to be dropped. So what we tend to do is to work on what's realistic for a delivery cycle. And that can be like a 4 to 8 week cycle for starting from nothing and delivering a fully functional working dashboard with multiple tables coming in and presentation tables and stuff in there. So that's a substantial increment aligned with a particular question.
Much different than the waterfall deliver once.
Oh, yeah. Some of the older methods out there, you're going to be at it for months before delivering something. And that's why, modern agile techniques are quite useful. Yeah. But agile means something different in the data platform market from the regular software development. You're still using the same techniques, but you've got to be clever as to how you apply them.
Important distinction there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're running out of time, actually.
Yes.
So thanks very much.
Thank you.
I've been doing all the talking. Never mind. Nice to see everyone here. If you've got any questions, then please do raise them to us. We're always delighted to get feedback. And please have a look at the links alongside this in terms of further information and how to get in touch. So see you all next time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.